What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% NUFC. I hope I find you really well. Just let you know, I am outside St James's Park for this Newcastle United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers match preview this Sunday in the Premier League. And it's a 2 o'clock kickoff, a game that I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be an interesting game indeed. But just before I jump into the preview, please can you go along and subscribe to the channel if you are new, if you're a Newcastle United fan, a Wolves fan, or any football fan. If you've never seen me before but you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers long term, but short term 2,300 subs. I'm around about 40 away, so if you can go along and subscribe, that really would mean the world to me, because I do try and make good effort on this channel. Also, if you do enjoy the video, please hit that thumbs up as well. 15 likes or more would be massively appreciated, and put your comments in down below of team lineups and score predictions. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. All social media links will be down below in the description. So, from a Newcastle point of view, we've had some very good news yesterday coming from the football club on Twitter and the official club website, nufc.co.uk. Martin Dúbravka has signed a 6-year contract extension at Newcastle United, which I'm over the moon about, because for me, he's been a very solid goalkeeper. A very good buy for around about £4 million, should I say, do beg your pardon. And it was only a matter of time that he would commit himself to Newcastle United long term, and it's going to keep him at Newcastle until he hits around about the age of 36, 37. Martin Dúbravka is currently 30 years old, and he's at the peak of his goalkeeping career. And since joining Newcastle, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's kept us in a lot of games. He's looked very calm and very settled on the ball. He's very good with his distribution, and he's very good, at creating counter-attacks. And he's someone who's got a good knowledge of the game as well. I don't want to quote everything that he said, but he's went on to say that, he's really enjoyed his time at Newcastle United. He's made what you could call friends at Newcastle United. His teammates, they've really helped him settle in at Newcastle, and he's looked very settled in Newcastle, and he just wants to continue playing in the Premier League and at the highest level. But we all know, if I want to put a negative on that, the reason why the club have signed a 6-year contract for Martin Dúbravka is because we all know that he could be sold on for a higher value. We all know what Mike Ashley and Lee Charney are like with profit margins, don't we? So, but we'll hope that Martin Dúbravka, does stay for the next 6 years, and that he just continue, in the Premier League. Because for me, I've always said that Martin Dúbravka is a very solid goalkeeper, and that he is rated between 15 to 20 million pounds, even at the age of 30. He is that good. Steve Bruce went on to say that, he is the future of Newcastle United going forward, and he's just glad to have got it over the line, and that he's now committed his long-term future at Newcastle United. So I just thought I'd break that out to you on this preview. So going into this match, Newcastle versus Wolves, we haven't got a very good record against them at home, if I'm all honest with you. Looking at the head-to-head record at St James's Park, we played them last season, losing by 2-1. A very late winner for Wolverhampton Wanderers after we got back into the game. Going back to the Championship days, we also lost 2-0. Which is not good either, but we did play them in the League Cup, winning 2-0 in return against, let's be honest, a very understrength Wolves side. We have played them away from home in the Premier League, drawn 1-1 last season, a game which we should have won, but we didn't. And then we also played them in the Championship. I believe we did win that game as well. We did play them recently in the Asia Trophy, losing quite heavily. But then again, if you play a really bad squad, and it was kind of Steve Bruce's first game in charge, it was always a game that we were never favourites to win, losing with better players such as Rondon and Perez. So going into the game, let's look at Newcastle first. We're currently 18th in the Premier League. That is the relegation zone. And I have to say, we deserve to be 18th in the Premier League. We deserve to be in the relegation zone, because so far this season, we've been very poor. Piss poor. And when you don't create enough chances going forward, and you don't work the goalkeeper like we do, then you're going to get punished, and you're going to be at the wrong end of the league. And Steve Bruce, so far, if he's not learning already, he's going to be learning the hard way of the Premier League and how tough it can be, because every game in the Premier League is always tough. There's no easy club to play in the Premiership. And I've been very frustrated the way we've been playing so far this season. In most games, we've not even had a shot on target, and that is a real concern. Some games, yes, against Manchester United, we had one shot on target and won the game, but we're not creating enough going forward. And if you don't score goals, then you don't win games, and you don't pick up points, and that is the harsh reality of the Premier League. And what really is concerning me is that we're not getting enough bodies in the box to make something happen to work the goalkeeper. You know, even from, say, simple set corners, free kicks, there's just nobody there on the end of it. Yes, we can all argue that Joe Linton's not getting the service from Almiron, etc. But the point is, though, we've got to be, you know, showing a bit more effort going forward, and we're not doing that. And as I've said before, we're not really putting any pressure on the opposition. And when opposition are coming up against us, they're sort of rubbing their hands thinking, you know, we're playing Newcastle United today, we've got a chance of walking away with a point, because they don't seem to do a great deal going forward. And we also have to do a lot more behind me at St James's Park if we want to stay up this season. We always say the bread and butter to staying in the Premier League is to win your home games. And yes, we did beat Manchester United last time out, but Wolves, for me, no disrespect to Manchester United, are better. Wolves are an all-round better side. They're a solid side, and they will be rubbing their hands thinking, despite them having a Europa League match yesterday, they've got every chance of getting 3 points. And the way they set up is very counter-attacking, and we need to try and make sure that, you know, we're trying to get all 3 points at St James's Park. So, you know, Wolves, you know, they're a very, very good side, and we need to make sure that on Sunday that we go for the game and don't just sit back and don't allow Wolves the initiative. Going into the match as well, Steve Bruce has given his press conference. We've had some good news and some bad news in terms of the injury front. So the good news would be that Matt Ritchie has been pictured in training for this game coming up on Sunday. Whether or not he'd be risked, that remains to be seen. But you will probably see him against West Ham next week. Then we've also seen Florent Lejeune pictured in training as well, recovering from a long-term injury. Again, will he feature on Sunday? Well, that remains to be seen. But we'll probably will see him next week against West Ham United at the Olympic Stadium. In terms of injuries, though, we have had some bad news in terms of Fabian Shaw. Apparently he has picked up an injury, which is very, very disappointing, because he has been very solid for us, and he's been very good in terms of getting some very, very good goals, important goals as well in terms of points. So he will be a big miss. In terms of Andy Carroll, he will not be featuring in this game on Sunday against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Picked up an injury. Again, he is injury prone, so we do know all about him. So I'm not shocked, you know, that he's injured for this game, but apparently could be making his return against West Ham United next weekend, which again is a positive sign going forward. Now, my question to you guys on Sunday is, would you drop Joe Linton for Dwight Gale? I said this last week, and for me, I would drop Joe Linton for Dwight Gale on Sunday, because Dwight Gale, for me, he's got that movement, he's got that pace which we need. At the minute, Joe Linton is just not firing, and yes, we know he's new to the Premier League, but we need to try and do something different against Wolves on Sunday. I would like to see Joe Linton maybe come on in the second half, give Dwight Gale a bit of a run out, not 5 minutes against Chelsea and 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I know he's not really fully match fit, Dwight Gale, but let's start him on Sunday. Let's give him an opportunity to see what he can do against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we'll wait and see how he does. I think it would be a very, very perfect switch. Almiron, I wouldn't really drop. I would just keep him in, see if he's got that partnership with Dwight Gale. Let's see if it works, and tried and tested. That's what you've got to do in the Premier League. And for me, we just need to make sure that on Sunday, whatever team Steve Bruce picks, as I've said before, we need to make sure that we go all out and have a go, because we need to try and get 3 points on Sunday. So, you know, players to watch out for, I would say, for Wolverhampton Wanderers fans, that you've got to look out for the likes of, you know, St Maximin. Looked very, very good against Chelsea last weekend, very pacey, you know, likes to get forward as well. Also, again, Dwight Gale, if he plays, another solid player. Will John Joe Shelby be back in the side? Well, that remains to be seen. I think it will be a little bit harsh drop Sean and Matty Longstaff for this game on Sunday. I think they look quite solid against Chelsea, even though it was a tough game for them. And also the centre-backs, Martin Dúbravka, again, players to watch out for. In terms of Wolves, you know, they've just come off the back of a 2-1 away win in the Europa League last night against Slovan in Slovakia, and they're currently 13th in the Premier League. I do expect Wolves to be a real threat on Sunday. You know, they've got some quality players, and again, they've got a good record at St James's Park. Despite them going to Slovakia yesterday, I do expect them to be fully fit for the game on Sunday, for them to have a go and to look for all 3 points. I don't think I'm expecting Wolves to be sitting back against us on Sunday, because again, they will be looking for a positive result to take them forward, to try and pull away from the relegation zone, because they are already 3 points off us this early in the season. Their form has been pretty decent. Their last game was away at Southampton, at home to Southampton, and they drew 1-1, a game which they should have got a result, 3 points. But again, there was a lot of controversial VAR decisions. They did fall behind actually at home to Southampton, but managed to get the draw, but should have won the game. They did beat Manchester City, so they have got what it takes to get a result against any Premier League opposition. And they've got some very, very good players. I'm interested to see the partnership of the two forwards, Patrick Cutrone and Raul Jimenez. I think that could be a very good partnership going forward for Wolves this season. You do look two very solid attackers going forward for them. They have got other good players as well in midfield, such as João Moutinho, the Portuguese international who they signed in the Championship. I was very surprised that he dropped that low, because I've always seen Roy as a solid midfielder, a top 10 Premier League solid midfielder. And again, he's got the experience. He's obviously Portuguese. He's played in the World Cup, the Euros. He's played in the Champions League for Porto, Europa League, which he's doing this season as well for Wolves. So we all know what he's got. He likes to get forward. He can do the defensive duties as well. Next time we've got Ruben Neves as well, who's very good on the ball. And then, in terms of form, talking of form, you've got Adama Traore, ex-Borough player, right winger, who likes to get forward as well. He's in very, very hot streak of form. So someone that we need to watch out for on Sunday. In terms of the back, you've got the likes of Bennett, you've got Connor Cody, who's been there, a very solid centre-back, someone who can defend, someone who can try and get the ball out and get Wolves on the counter-attack. Nuno Espirito Santo is a very good manager. I've said this on many occasions before. He's someone who likes to have his team attacking, and I think he'll do that on Sunday. They've got a very solid goalkeeper, Rui Patricio, who I got mixed up with João Moutinho, both Portuguese, but he's a very solid goalkeeper. He was with Wolves in the Championship. Again, I was surprised that they signed him, given his experience with Sporting Lisbon in playing in the Champions League and Europa League. But I think all round it's going to be a very tough game. On Sunday, Wolves will be coming up to fight. We need to make sure that we're creating opportunities against Wolves, because again, they will cause more of a threat to what Manchester United done the last home game out. So we need to make sure that on Sunday that we're on the game, and that we're not fluffing our chances, and that when we do get forward, we'll try and have a go, because we need 3 points on Sunday. It's huge, and if we want to get out of the relegation zone, we'll have to make sure that we are solid at the back, but going forward, creating our opportunities. Steve Bruce, for me, is under a lot of pressure this early stage, and yes, I know it's only 9 games in, we'll be 10 games in on Sunday, but we'll have to start getting 3 points now. Against Chelsea, yes, solid at the back, but we were too defensive, and when you're too defensive, you will always get caught on the counter-attack, and Chelsea punished us, and Man United could have done the same as well. So I think in terms of a score prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-0 to Newcastle. I'm feeling positive about the game on Sunday. I am a little bit nervous, don't get us wrong, but we are the home side and we need all 3 points. Let me know your score predictions down below in the comments. Let us know who you think Steve Bruce will pick in terms of a squad selection, and if there's any Wolves fans watching this channel as well, let us know what team you think Nuno Espirito Santo is going to pick, and let us know how you think you're going to approach this game on Sunday. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you are new, as I've said before, please go along and subscribe to the channel. The aim is to get 3,000 subscribers long term, and short term 2,300. I'm only 40 away. So subscribe, hit the thumbs up, follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter. All links will be down below in the description. And sorry it's been a long preview, but there's been a lot to get through, and I'll see you all on Sunday night or Monday for the review. Okay, how are the lads?